I talk about propeller installation, and a very common mistake that people make, professionals, non-professionals, is not putting on the thrust washer. This is the most important component of installing any propeller. It is the thrust washer. If you notice, it has a taper which mates with the male portion of the taper on the prop shaft, and it stops right there. So it's called a thrust washer because it carries the thrust of the propeller onto the prop shaft, not onto the outer housing of the lower unit. So the big mistake that happens is you go to change the propeller, you hit something, you want to upgrade your propeller. You take the old propeller off, the thrust washer sticks to this unit. Then you put that down, you grab another propeller. That's not what we're doing today. It sticks to that. You don't know about this thrust washer. You put this propeller on without this. This part is going to grind against the housing. And if you don't notice something's amiss, like Wyatt did yesterday, you're going to feel it. So anytime you put a propeller on, you give the force. You put some force on the propeller. You feel it kind of binding. You say there's something up, because not only can the thruster not be there, but when you went to the boating supply place, they might have given you the wrong thrust washer. So it's like, well, that doesn't feel right. So you take it back off. You go, oh yeah, thrust washer's on the ground. It's in the other propeller. You put that on. Some more common mistakes and procedures for installing the propeller. Not only do you have spacers that go in for the, we're calling the thrust washer, which I like to call a fall off. You can take off the propeller. It kind of fits loosely. It falls off. If you're in deep grass or something, you might not even know it falls off. There's also spacers on most propellers on the front of the propeller. They can come off too. They're usually on a Yamaha. They're in there pretty stiff. Let's see if I can get this to fall off. There it is. It comes off. Now, if you weren't paying attention, you didn't even know it fell off. You go to put the lower unit, the propeller on, and then you realize when you tighten this nut, you look down here, you're going to have a massive amount of space. If you really don't pay attention, you put it on, this propeller's got to go. In reverse, clunk, forward, clunk, not healthy. So you always got to pay attention to what comes off, because once the nut is off, everything's kind of loose. Try to work in a clear ground, pay attention to what's going on. So this goes on, it mates with the splines, a nice solid piece of stainless, an additional washer. And so this castle nut will mate with the hole that's in the prop shaft that we have to put a cotter pin in. That's why there's really no great torque spec for this, because you don't know when those notches got to line up. But we tighten this up. And if you don't put the cotter pin in, the prop will definitely fall off. I learned it the hard way when I forgot one. So we tighten this up. This is a 27 millimeter on a Yamaha 0866. Tighten this up. Looking for your lineup. When you line up the thrust pressure right there. Just by feel, this is probably about 20. I'm going to go a few more. Probably about 20 pounds is about right. Here we go. We take our cotter pin, we'll line it right there. Make sure it has to be a stainless steel cotter pin. So, make sure you don't put a steel one in. Line it up. Sometimes you gotta finagle it. There it is, right there. I like to take a pair of wire cutters, turn it, get one tap one way, tap the other way. Just like that. And always when you're done, this way or this way. The prop shaft's got to move a little bit. I'd say about 20 thousandths. That's normal on every lower unit. So if it's making a little noise like it is now, you're actually moving the prop shaft. You can put your thumb on the prop shaft, make sure they're moving together. Make sure she turns all the way. Sometimes a prop can be damaged if you hit something, and the hub can be damaged, and it'll actually scrape as you do this. So turn it, move it. If it's nice, shiny stainless one, be careful you don't cut yourself. And there you go.